Hey there, it's JohnBird555, and I just finished watching the first episode of the new DisneyPlus series Willow, the episode being called The Gale. So right off the bat, I want to compliment this show for doing this, for incorporating the time that between the original film and the new series into the story. At least the passage of time, I should say, because both are, it makes good sense to do this, especially since we have at least two returning actors from the original film. Obviously Warrick Davis as Willow, he returns, but also the actor who played the character, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Seroha. I want to say basically that I think if you're familiar with Willow, you know which character. In this series she's now the queen, but anyhow, her actor Joanne Wally returns to play her. So the fact that they got these two actors to reprise their roles, it helps to, incorporate the passage of time into the show itself. You can't have Willow without Warrick Davis, obviously, but they probably still could have tried, but probably wouldn't have been the same. But by having two actors, I think they decided they're just going to do a time skip, which I think is a good thing, because that also means you can have a happy ending, but not necessarily a happy ever after, because not everything will be sunshine and rainbows. And this series definitely shows that, yes, the setting of the original film, like, things are much better than they used to be. Now that the evil queen, Baltimore, has been defeated, but just because things are better doesn't mean things are perfect. There's still threats outside of the realm. There's a bunch of things saying that, hey, just because things are better than they were doesn't mean everything's a happy ever after, which I think is a very good message to show. But that's just a minor thing. That's the setup. What happens is, well, hey, there needs to be an inciting event, and that's what this episode does. It incites the adventure that we're going to be following, which I hope is going to be full of character story. But for some context, so the queen has two twin children, the Princess Kate and then Prince Eric. And I have a feeling Eric is named after, Bad Mortigan's friend Eric. I'm just having that feeling that they did that on purpose, which we don't know what happened to him. He's been mentioned, and it's kind of implied that he either left or died or whatnot. We don't know. And I wonder if that could somehow play into the role in the future story. I don't know, but I do find that quite interesting how they'll, each character, we've been presented with a couple of different series on that. And I think and then another character, I'm like, you knew Bad Morgan, didn't you? There's a reason why the queen is so friendly with you and all that. You must have known him. I just had that feeling. The character Bowman, who presented to be a very similar archetype as Bad Morgan was in the original film. Something I picked up on, and I wonder if there could be some, they knew each other or something. For why would the queen be so essentially forgiving on this basically thief who has no except for willing to help defend the castle when it's attacked. There's not really shown too much redeeming qualities until you put him in the same archetype as Bad Morgan was in the original film. It's kind of maybe a little bit self-centered, but after a party, the queen brings some food down to him and talks with him. There's something more going on there, and I'm interested in seeing how that plays out. But there's so much going on. We learned that Princess Allura has been, Dandon has been basically hidden away for own protection because of a oncoming threat from outside the realm. But we do learn that the Queen and Willow disagreed on what was the best course of action to protect her, which again shows that yes, they may be friends and all that, but that doesn't mean there can't be disagreements on that. And it seems like a pretty amicable disagreement, because they do agree that, okay, they do agree on a course of action. Granted, they probably all have different ideas on what to do once the course, but hey, each of them have their own ideas. But as soon as basically the events that kick off everything occur, well, the Queen sends basically a team to go on a quest to find Willow so they can go rescue Prince Eric, who is captured by the Gales, and it's implied that they went after him specifically. And there's a line where, right before they head off, where the Queen is telling her daughter, Princess Kit, that Balmoldra's blood still runs through, or her spirit, something like that. I forget the exact wording, but still runs through her and then Kit and Eric. So that implies that the people who captured Eric, something with Balmoldra, maybe some big evil threat out there, or all that. I don't know, but there's still like basically Balmoldra was bad, but there's even bigger evil out there. But yeah, very interesting to see how that develops. But that also is kind of not a bad story course of actions. Not too dissimilar from Star Wars, where, yeah, sure, back in the original first two films, Darth Vader was a big bad. Then we met the Emperor. But they also explore character relationships, inter-character relationships. There's two characters, Princess Kate and then the character Jade, are a unofficial couple, I would say. You know, granted, they're dancing at the party, and nobody bats an eye until Princess Kit starts going off on basically the Prince Graydon, who she's betrothed to marry as a part of unifying two kingdoms together for political reasons. But what I really do like about this is, while we do have this queer couple of Jade and Kit, the conflict that's potentially driving them apart is not because people don't approve of them being together, but because, Kit, you're a princess, you have to do your royal duties. And Jade, well, looks like you have an opportunity to become a proper knight. Like that, no, basically duties is what's driving the relationship, is presenting as a threat to the relationship, not any disapproval, which is quite interesting. And of course, there's also another relationship going on, which is quite interesting, between Prince Eric and basically a maid who he calls Dove, not knowing her actual name. But is that her name? I'm actually not quite sure. We don't learn what her name she went by in the castle, but we do learn who she really is. They revealed this very quickly. I accidentally got this spoiled because I was checking an actor's name on Wikipedia and I saw this by mistake. So this was unfortunately spoiled for me. But when they arrived, once a group who are going on the quest, which include Kit, Jade, Prince Graydon, Bowman, and also another knight who is pretty quickly killed off. That way the commander didn't have to go, but an older knight who apparently was friends with Bad Morrigan too. I wonder if that was the Eric that was friends with Bad Morrigan. I just wonder if that was the case, because it describes, closest thing he has to his son and all that for Prince Edric. So obviously there's some connection there, I think. But I don't think we'll ever get to explore that because he's killed off by basically by a group of marauders, for lack of a better term, once they get beyond the realm. But they eventually make it to the New village where Willow is. Granted, there's only two new ones, the Willow and then I didn't look up this character's name. I know Willow said it, but I totally forgot. But I'm pretty sure it's one of the characters that was friends with in the original film. But anyhow, they're like the only ones there at this time. So I do wonder what happened there. But essentially, we learned that Dove is actually a lower doorman. And Willow's like, you shouldn't be here, it's dangerous, but I'm so glad to see you. But and she's like, what? She didn't know this herself, which makes some sense. But they revealed that right off the bat, which I do find very interesting. Why they chose it to reveal, I think they probably figured, let's not have that be the mystery. I think they decided the better mystery would not be where is Elora, but rather what's going on and why, and she was once proselytized to, when she was born, to unlock the end of Queen Balmoldra's rule. But what about this new threat that she's also the only one who can defeat? Even though Balmoldra was not defeated by her, but by basically the people who helped protect her. So I do want to say it could be doing something similar to that going on with, she's instrumental, but she's not necessarily instrumental in a personal capacity. I don't know. Maybe they're going to explore giving her more agency. Because, last film, she was just a baby. Not much agency a baby can have besides liking Willow. So there is that. But yeah, that kind of overall thoughts. And so we just have to wait to see what comes next in episode 2, which I'm planning on watching as soon as I finish recording this review. And we get to see what's been going on in the world of Willow since, well, the last film. But anyhow, that's where I'm going to conclude this review. Let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think of Willow the Gales? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please be sure to give it a like and to share it around. Also, feel free to check out any links down below, including my social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff is down below. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet done so, and supporting me on Patreon as well. That's all I have for today, so thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the force be with you, always.